Hello there everyone, and welcome to Not Everyone Is Here. And in today we're covering a unique, case because starting from now on, at least for a few episodes, I'll be covering, Western characters. And what better way to start than with Half-Life, in my opinion. Half-Life being one of the most popular games out there, a series that I never have played, but I know a lot of people have and enjoyed and are anticipating the third game, which is actually going to be reality, which is interesting, you know. I didn't think that Half-Life Alyx would actually lead into a potential, Half-Life 3, but here we are. We're in a reality where that could possibly be a thing after all these years. I remember being a kid and hearing nothing but jokes about how there will never be a Half-Life 3, and now it will happen. The next 10 years. But whatever the case may be, I myself am not a Half-Life fan, but you know who is? Masahiro Sakurai himself. And when it comes down to it, if Valve, just to get this right out of the way, if Valve were to ever be approached by Nintendo, well, I think Gabe has already said that he wouldn't be opposed to it at all. I think he'd be grateful to have, Gordon in in Smash. And you know what? Hey, that's nice. That's pretty good to hear, I mean, maybe we might end up getting Mr. Gordon Freeman in Smash, but that's not the point of this discussion. You see, the main thing I wanted to talk about was representation in Smash, and that being Western representation. There's barely any of it, and if Valve is willing to allow their franchises to show up in Smash, then surely Sakurai wouldn't be too opposed to, maybe getting on the phone with Gabe, just saying, hey, look, want to make a little deal, maybe get some spirits, maybe even a fighter. I said assist, but I meant to say Mies. And, I think Gabe would be alright with that, and why wouldn't he? After all, if you're gonna have a celebration of gaming, you want to represent all aspects of gaming now. And so for me, I feel that if Valve were to get a fighter, it's obviously gonna be Gordon. Now, they do have other franchises like Portal and such, but when it comes down to it, the main one you'll hear is either Team Fortress 2 or Gordon, right, from Half-Life. And for me, I just think that it'll be Half-Life if, say, Valve were to get a fighter. That's just my personal opinion, because usually when it comes to Sakurai, he's already mentioned this before, how he'll always go for the company mascot seemingly. And, if the company's mascot just so happens to be Gordon or whatever they would consider as their mascot, then surely Gordon would be the character picked, right? Plus, Half-Life, and in terms of its history, is quite big. It does have a huge legacy behind it, so there you go. Not only that, but Valve itself is a very respected, game developer and, store, public, whatever you would call it. They have Steam, and Steam is possibly one of the greatest ways to get your games. So many deals, some of the best refunding policies I've ever seen. It's just so good, and it's so easy to navigate. I just like Steam, which is why I refuse to download any others. But for me, right, I feel like Valve is definitely one of those. It should be in Smash, right? Valve should definitely have a character in Smash. All right. Will it happen? Well, I doubt it. But in my personal opinion, I do believe that Valve should have a fighter. And why? Well, Valve itself has a huge history behind it. Maybe not as much as Nintendo's, sure, or most other gaming companies, but I don't think that takes away from it at all, you know what I mean? So for me personally, I'd like to see some Half-Life and, maybe some Portal, some Team Fortress 2 and Smash, some way, shape, or form. Like I said, I never played, any of those games that I just mentioned, but even I can understand the importance of those franchises. I just don't like it when people just ignore franchises because they haven't experienced it. Me, I enjoy any franchise, even if it's one I haven't experienced. I'll definitely put my my own 2 cents for it to go into Smash, because Smash, as it claims to be a game that isn't a fighting game, it isn't a party game or anything like that, right? Smash, according to Mr. Sakurai himself, is a celebration of gaming. And how are you going to celebrate games without some of the bigger Western characters yet to be in Smash? Not to say that there aren't characters from the West in Smash through either spirits, mini costumes, or assists, but come on, Not even a fighter, but that's just my opinion. With all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed. This was a smaller video, but I will definitely be covering bigger Western characters and ones that I'm way more familiar with. I've already covered a few with Mortal Kombat and Halo, Crash, etc. So I highly suggest you watch those videos out too. I've already covered other Western franchises like Crash, Halo, etc. So if you guys like to see those, hey, well, they're in the playlist. And without all of that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please take care of yourselves, and as always, have an amazing rest of your day. I'll see you guys in the next one. Subscribe. Peace.